We're just immediately south of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This project was selected for design cell 6-44 with a low asphalt concrete overlay thickness, a high structural number original pavement, fine subgrade, high traffic level, high stiffness of asphalt concrete. I'm going to break away from this real quick and go back and film the drilling operation and show what materials are coming out of the hole and the thicknesses of those materials. The overlay thickness indicated was 1.1 inches, which is around 110 to 115 pounds per square yard. What we're showing here with the carpenter rule is what appears to be the old pavement, or actually the seal coat that was shot over the old pavement, and then the overlay. And it appears to be right around an inch thick, slightly more. Looking down the hole, the total thickness of asphalt concrete, including the overlay and including the chip seal, should be around 9 inches or so. And it appears here to be slightly more than that, around 9.5 inches, possibly 9.25 to 9.5 inches. Let me ease on up to look down the hole and show the distinction between the layers. Couldn't get a very good feel for the granular base coming out of the hole because it's only placed in, according to the plans, 5-inch depth. And therefore, with the auger, it would be mixing in with the material underneath as it was coming up. Able to isolate some of the base material, and this is sand and gravel graded together in it, going on down to some fine aggregates. Clay subgrader, that was what was indicated on the candidate project selection data forms, and I have a handful of it right here. There is quite a bit of sand in there. Appears to be about equal. Loamy texture. Appears to be non-plastic. Appears that the sandy clay is a suitable classification for the material which we retrieved out of the first test hole. And overall, the material that came out of the hole predominantly subgrade material. You see where I got a handful of it right there. So reddish brown sandy clay, which is what was shown on the candidate project selection data forms. And it looks like we have a little bit more asphalt concrete here. Of course, in this case, we were measuring individually, so it's not surprising that we might see a little bit greater thickness here. Showing a total of around 10.5, 11 inches of asphalt concrete. It's very difficult to distinguish between the overlay and the original pavement. Going down the test hole, or the borehole, that is. See the distinction between the asphalt concrete and the base pretty clearly with the naked eye. As we came out of the hole, we had similar problems here in trying to distinguish between the base and the material underneath, just due to the thickness of the base material, which is shown to be 5 inches. What little we did see was similar to what we saw back there, and you can see pieces of aggregate. But with an augering operation like that, without going through and extracting the core, you can see between a layer like that and any select fill material underneath, as well as any asphalt concrete, because you're grinding it up as you are augering through it. Looking at the material which came out of the hole, it looks identical in this area that we saw back there, but then when we got a little bit deeper, we got into a bit more clay material. This appears to have been a select, possibly a select fill material which was used. I'll have to check the plans. Whether it's a sandy clay or a clayey sand, probably is. The material underneath that is definitely a fine grain material, predominantly clay. You can tell by the way it balls up. I need to get a handful of it to show it in a little bit more detail. Called for, or shown on the candidate project selection data form, was a sandy clay. And you see we've got an awful lot of clay in this material. It balls up as it's coming through. It's not all that moist. probably right near the optimum water content. Maybe even it's a little bit dry actually because it still crumbles after you ball it up.
We're able to see after picking around in the hole the distinction between the G treatment seal coat, which was placed on top of the original pavement, and the overlay. You see we've got approximately 1.5 inches of asphalt concrete on top of the G treatment.